He took the lengthy drive to Encina Park. The unfinished walking path with the loam partially dug up would work as a great spot for her final resting place. It would take him no time to make a big enough hole in the soft earth and, being around midnight, no one would be out having their daily jog and catch him in the act. He drove quick and smoked just as fast, finishing 10 cigarettes in less than 20 minutes, including 2 that he threw out before they were smoked down. He left himself one for the ride home, enough to make it to a liquor store and get more. When he arrived, he left the car running, headlights blazing, and started digging the hole right away. Jamming the shovel into the earth, he stood up on it with one foot, pushing it down as far as possible. He heaved up the pile of dirt and tossed it aside. The first 3 feet were indeed easy for him, but once he hit the clay, it became a battle. He almost gave up on the task until he peeked back at the car and remembered. He absolutely needed to bury her 6 feet underground. 2 hours later, the perfect hole stared back at him. He'd dug a nice, neat rectangle, 6 feet deep, and his shoulders and arms were on fire. He dropped the shovel near the grave and went to the car. He took a deep breath, hands on his hips, then unlocked the trunk and peered in at her. Again, he expected her to be alive. He thought she would lunge at him and try to attack him. She would beat his chest with her tiny fists and ask him why he put her in a trunk, and what the hell was he thinking trying to bury her at Encina Park. She hated Encina Park. She, however, still didn't move. He took another breath, now reflecting on the pain he would have in his shoulders as he dragged her to the hole, and then pulled her out. The 3-foot walk from the car to the hole should have been easy, but when he got her there, his arms could take no more. He nudged her into the hole with his foot, breathing hard, and smudged the sweat from his face with his forearm, mixing it with dirt. He braced himself for the final leg of this journey, covering the body. He knew lugging the rest of the dirt back over her would be easier than pulling the dirt out, but he still didn't want to do it. It was time for a quick break. He strolled back to the car, still breathing heavy, reached into the driver's side window, and grabbed the pack. Tapping the red and silver cancer vessel on his palm to coerce the last cigarette out, he slid it into his mouth and dug in his pocket for the lighter. After lighting the cigarette, he took the longest puff he ever pulled. The smoke filled his mouth, then slowly pushed out between his lips. How'd his life come to this? He once loved her. Now things were ending in the most definite way possible. Till death do us part, and they weren't even married. He thought over his decision to bury her body and concluded that his illegal venture must be completed. He couldn't go down for a murder. His illegitimate children needed their father. His deep thoughts were louder than the sounds of his surroundings, and he didn't hear the whoosh of air coming at his face just before the shovel collided with the side of his head, splitting the hair and skin to a bloody gash. His body fell, all dead weight, to the ground.